Hello everyone, welcome to our first episode of Pixels and Polygons, which is our new little project, our little podcast we're doing, all entertainment and gaming. You can see I'm joined by myself and three other men. So I'm John, or Jontis, so you'll know who probably we all are. You just probably ain't seen two of our faces, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm John. Above me is Nick. Give us a wave.
How we doing?
And his woman. And then we've got in the top right, we've got Chris. Hello. And Yarnold is closest to me on the right.
Hello.
Hello. So obviously I've done a podcast in the past, but these guys haven't, so we're all new and nervous doing it as a foursome. So be gentle with us. But we're planning to do this kind of like bi-weekly or monthly, depending when we get time, and just talk about games and movies and films and music and all that kind of stuff, and have a laugh and just bants. And it's something I was like brewing for a while that we wanted to do, because we used to do TCN stuff, but obviously that ended, so take on another project. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to start off with some, I guess TV. It is TV because it's Disney Plus, but it's been a big thing. And then go on to some gaming stuff and news. And yeah, Chris will be talking about some. We're going to try and have a segment each that we rotate. So we'll have Chris's corner this week. And then we might, I don't know, we'll think about other things. But yeah, so to start with, I'll just say I really enjoyed WandaVision. And that's the main thing I wanted to talk about with Disney Plus. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Has anyone else been watching it? Or dabbled at all?
Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we could probably talk about actually. Chris hasn't got access to Disney Plus in South Africa, which is weird.
Not available in South
Wait,
Africa.
It's not,
so
no.
your country blocks it basically.
I think Disney doesn't allow it.
No, Disney hasn't published it here. We haven't blocked it. They just haven't put it here. They haven't bothered.
Okay, makes sense.
They don't like the Afrikaans, by the sound of
I
it.
read an article. This was last year, so I don't know if it's maybe changed. But Disney basically said they don't plan on bringing it here until 2022. So
Wait.
next year.
Yeah. And I know the Mandalorian came out in like the last October, and it was like spoilers were everywhere, and everyone had seen it, and then it finally came to the UK in like was it January this year, I think. Yeah, and then this started WandaVision, which is what I got into, and I was like, no one really followed Wanda, well, Scarlet Witch she's called now, isn't she? So, and Vision, they were kind of always side characters, and I was like, oh, this would be interesting. I love sitcom stuff and like the whole retro vibe to it. So I was like, give this a go.
Something was going to come of Wanda and Vision just because of the sort of, like you say, little side pieces in Civil War, but you can tell that there was something
Together, yeah.
Sort of relationship between the characters.
Yeah, and there's like a specific episode where I don't know if you've watched it all, Nick, but there's like a specific episode. Oh, you have. So like spoilers, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that contains spoilers. So, but yeah, there's like an episode where you see like a flashback to after Age of Ultron, where you see Vision and Wanda kind of getting close, and her kind of past with the bomb and when she was trapped, and that's kind of something they bridge into, and how she was like mutated by the Mind Stone and stuff like that. So there's all that kind of stuff, but it's all in like a sitcom style. So like the first episode I think is 40s, then it's 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s onwards, so you get like the different kind of sitcoms. Yeah, all the decades, yeah. Have you guys... Oh, no, obviously Chris hasn't. Have you watched any of it, Yanni, or...?
I'm not a big TV watcher in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I pretty much can't talk about it.
I'm not either, really.
I would give my opinions, whether it's something interesting that I could watch, you know.
Did you see any of the trailers or anything for it? Or...
I haven't seen trailers, no.
No, so that's something you just, you're blind to then. But yeah,
basically.
Watch trailers if that helps. I don't watch them.
I used to always watch trailers, but I tend to not, especially with game trailers like Outriders, which we'll get into later. Like I've just avoided everything because I wanted to go in like blind. Yeah, one of them was really good. It was a bit of a weird start. The first 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, what is going on? Like you don't know what's actually happening, and then it slowly like edges on to see what's happening, and yeah, it gets more and more interesting. It goes into like phase 4, which is like Marvel's next thing, and you kind of see her become like Scarlet Witch, and they bring in new heroes, and Vision's kind of, I don't know. He's back, but he's like not back. It's a very odd how they left it on the cliffhanger. And then obviously you've got Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is just started. I've never really cared about their characters either, but apparently it's good. The first episode was out.
I did watch it, like you say, considering that how they ended Endgame, and like you say, Falcon isn't exactly like the biggest character in the Marvel universe, but I do think it'll be interesting what they do with it and how they carry on from it with him.
Yeah, I didn't really. I didn't watch the Captain America films when I first watched stuff, so I had no idea who he was. And then obviously he was just in Civil War when I watched that one, and then obviously he's kind of like a side character and he gets dusted in the Infinity War one. But yeah, it was cool how they gave him the shield, but I've not watched the episode, but all I've heard is like he doesn't get the shield or something, and then they start bringing in a fake Captain America or something like that. So that's going to be interesting. Then there's the Loki show that's coming in July, I think. That's due to come out. It should be good fun. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for Disney Plus and stuff. And I couldn't really get into The Mandalorian, talking about another show. I really tried. I know, Chris, you mentioned it, didn't you? You couldn't get into it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's been torn apart by like die-hard Star Wars fans. So
in a good way, or they thought it was crap.
Like it's been destroyed.
Oh,
People have gone as far as saying is that it's worse than Episode 8 and 9, which I doubt.
No. What were you saying, Nick? Sorry.
I personally, from people that have spoken to me about Mandalorian, everyone who spoke to me has actually said that it's really good. I do want to watch it and see for myself, but I sort of fell out of the whole Star Wars era thing. Like I watched all movies, but then I think after I can't even remember which Star Wars movie it was that I watched last. I think it was like Rogue One or something. I haven't watched it since then, so I've sort of like fell out of the whole thing. So as much as I want to watch it, I don't know. At the same time, I kind of don't. So I'm back and through from it.
I'm the same. I tried to watch like the first 3 episodes. I was like, "Is this going anywhere?" I don't get what's going on. And I know there's been like 2 seasons now, and they have brought in like a lot of classic stuff, like Ashoka, who's like from the Clone Wars, and is Anakin's apprentice, and then you got the Baby Yoda stuff, and then Luke Skywalker came back into it or something. There's like a CGI thing, but actually, after like what you said, I was burned out after like episode 8 and 9 being like trash. I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered with any more Star Wars. So I went straight back to like MCU stuff. Have you seen any of it, Yanni, or have you not?
Completely. My is completely empty about this stuff.
I know you're a massive TV watcher, aren't you? So, but there's something actually I'm going to bring up with you later on about games, because you've been doing your Fuser stuff, so we can talk about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for TV, and then we're going to move into like more gaming. We'll just talk about some gaming news, because Chris has got some interesting stuff. In Chris's corner, in the top right corner, but yeah, about Xbox doing some stuff and PlayStation doing some stuff, which is.
I recently got my hands on Xbox Game Pass, specifically because now EA Play was brought to laptop to PC, and it's just really good value for money with all the stuff that they give you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games that I have never played before, and I never thought I would ever end up playing.
It's like modern rentals, isn't it?
So much out there.
Yeah, I always think of it as like modern rentals, because like you can't rent games anymore, but Game Pass is kind of that. You just kind of rent them.
It's Netflix for video games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do something wrong with it, basically.
No, I played this one. PlayStation need a lower version. But yeah, what you're saying about EA and Xbox, I started playing Jedi Fallen Order on the PC version, but I'll let you carry on.
I actually played Jedi Fallen Order, and that's a really good game. I've got it on disc, so I got it long before. And then Bethesda, them also going onto Game Pass. That actually gutted me a bit because I recently just bought all the Doom games.
Oh yeah,
And now,
you said that.
then about 2 months later, they're like, "Oh, we're bringing the Bethesda games to Game Pass." And I
Yeah,
was sad.
yeah, because
I mean, I got them all on sale for Christmas, so it's not like you spent that much on them anyway. But it was still a bit gutting.
no, I know you. Yeah, I was really tempted to buy Doom Eternal, and then it came on at Game Pass, and then the whole Bethesda deal went through. Like, obviously, because if anyone doesn't know, Bethesda were bought by Xbox, so basically every future game they do will be Xbox console and PC exclusive, and they're all going on Game Pass day one. So like Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield and anything like that will just be on it straight away. And then there's the other thing they're doing.
There's something I want to say. For
Yeah, go
example,
for it.
remember in October when the game Watch Dogs Legion came out, right?
Yes.
It was that was basically something I couldn't get my hands on through Game Pass because I'm basically I don't own a good PC, so I play on PlayStation at the moment, and basically I bought the full game, and yeah, there were a lot of mixed reviews about the game, and I personally liked it, but the game didn't seem finished whatsoever. So
No, I agree, because we were
seems like
both enjoying it.
aren't worth the full price. But yeah.
It's like, it was one of those games where if you turn your brain off, you can properly enjoy it. But it was utterly silly, stupid fun, and it did feel a bit unfinished. So I had to like make a review on it because I was like, oh, you have to kick games up the ass when they're not doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just brought out the online version for that actually. I always got free weekend as well. Or I think.
Oh yeah, I saw about
today till Monday. So that's something, if anyone's listening, watching, you can play Watch Dogs over this weekend because this will be going up Saturday. Also, we completely forgot to mention, and it's not to be horrible or anything like that, it's just we got into the moment. We do have 5 members of the Pixels and Polygons team, but Gaming Bear isn't with us tonight. He's very busy in the week, so he'll be in another episode. We might come and go. You might see us on cam. You might not see us on cam. It's just going to be like a fluctuating thing, just seeing how we are on the day.
Just whatever we feel like.
Yeah, we want to keep it reasonably casual. We don't want it to just think of it as a Zoom meeting that we talk about shit. But yeah, Chris, the thing about Discord. Yeah.
And you just ruined everything for me, Josh. That's how dare you. While we were on the topic of Microsoft buying Bethesda and all this stuff, there are rumors that Microsoft wants to get their hands on Discord for about $10 billion.
10 billion? I thought that was million.
Discord
oh my
is
God.
The most recent valuation of Discord is something $7 billion.
That's mad.
That was about 2 years ago. And
Honestly,
it's quite odd because I don't think they make that much money off of just Discord Nitro.
No.
So
I was about to say, yeah.
But I know Xbox were partnered with Discord to get Nitro through Game Pass, so that's something they already had in place.
That'd be interesting.
Now that if Microsoft does buy Discord, it could go either way because, I mean, Microsoft got their hands on Skype and Mixer, and look what happened to those things.
Yeah, that's another. I don't think they'd abandon Discord. The thing is, like, I think out of all of us, the only two that actually play on Xbox console is Nick and Chris. I think you both have the consoles, don't you?
Yeah.
And I imagine Nick's got it on PC as well, on for Game Pass and everything like that. So, but yeah, it's not like I'm not a massive Xbox fan. I think we all love 360. That was like the console of the day.
That was actually my first console. I'm exposing my age, but that was my first console.
Yeah, Chris is only 9 years old. Too easy on him.
I feel like me and Chris are about the same age, to be honest.
Yeah, me and
my
Nick are
my
older.
real console was the
I was gonna say,
PS4.
yeah,
Honestly,
my first console was an Xbox 360. I'm sitting here. My first console was the original PlayStation.
See, I think. Well, I don't want to say
actually-
people's specific ages, but I think I'm a year or two older than Nick, or we're the same age. I'm not sure. But my first was a Master System, the Sega. So Bubble and Bobble, Alex the Kid, Sonic, Shinobi.
oh yeah, I get what you mean.
But my first proper console was PS1. Yeah.
But yeah, I also got consoles before that. I feel like the first console I really bought was the Wii U. So it was basically Nintendo I was first on, and after Nintendo I moved on to PS4. So that was
That was a bit of a jump.
my first proper console.
That was a big jump, yeah. But I never got the Wii. I like Wii Sports and stuff like that, but I don't know. I felt like gaming is about relaxing, and the fact that I was
I feel like Nintendo really is when you're younger. They're really based to a younger audience.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But yeah, like the thing with Xbox and like Discord, like I said, it is a bit worrying if they buy it and then they suddenly just drop it. Like, what happens? Because Discord is like the biggest thing for like communicating. Like,
I feel like we can't live without Discord anymore.
the amount of servers we're all in, like, it's just a way of chatting to people, especially because we've been in lockdown for like going on. I think it's been a year, like today for the UK. I'm not sure. Obviously, because Yanni and Chris are from elsewhere in the world, how it works. But yeah, it's been a bit rough for like socializing.
Yeah, lockdown hasn't been great here either, to be honest. Because I live in Belgium personally.
Yeah, we've got.
It's a mixed bag here. It just depends on where you stay.
So
some people don't.
I think between us, we're in. Three different because we're in two different continents because Africa and Europe are continents, aren't they? I kept thinking, it's like, hang on, we left the EU but we didn't leave the continent. That was something else. I was like, no, we didn't like push away. But yeah,
Taking a bit of work to leave the continent.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah.
Can you imagine if like England was just like fuck this and just put like thrusters on the cliffs and just went, just like the white cliffs of Dover just being pushed away.
That would be some
the ultimate Brexit.
It's
It's like the ultimate Brexit.
If they've got the technology to move an entire country across the continent, then trust me, they can do other things with it.
Yeah, we can definitely go to Mars if they had that technology.
I think there is actually some technology for like affecting tectonic plates. Because I was reading something the other day that the San Andreas fault line is due to shift, which is the whole. If you've seen that terrible rock movie, where it's called, I think it's just literally called San Andreas, and it's all about how the lines shift and it just causes gigantic parts of California to go into the ocean. Anyway, tangent. But yeah, like in terms of like Xbox and Discord, like I don't know, like what's the benefits going to be? Are they going to pump more money into it?
I think they're gonna put advertising on Discord, make it more profitable, and then
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
they'll probably put that on Xbox as well.
Could you imagine, like, you just join a voice channel? It's like, would you like to buy a Game Pass? It's like it's an audio advert in your head. Oh, it'd be horrible.
One guy said that if he were in charge of Microsoft, and they actually managed to get Discord, that they get rid of the party chat feature and just replace that entirely with Discord integration.
Yeah, there was something about that. I remember you mentioning
that would be great. Because PlayStation definitely needs that as well.
The party chat system isn't exactly the best.
No, Xbox parties are a nightmare, and PS5 parties are now a nightmare. The way they've made them, because they changed the PS4 version as well. So like, if all of them just integrated Discord every console and was like, we don't need our own party.
I feel like it's a necessity.
Yeah, but it'll probably happen with Xbox, but it won't happen with PlayStation now if they're buying them. That's a shame. But
Microsoft getting Discord is just one of their options. Discord is also looking at just going public and getting money through that.
And to talk about companies and stuff taking over stuff, there was a massive rumor that PlayStation or Sony were trying to buy Rockstar. because of the whole Bethesda thing. They were like, we're going to have Grand Theft Auto. Could you imagine the amount of money they would make just having like GTA 6 exclusive to PlayStation?
Yeah, I don't think it would be good.
I would buy a PlayStation if they did that.
Like it would force people to buy a console. Like literally, this thing is just a gigantic paperweight at the minute. There is like 5 games on it, and as much as I'm definitely a PlayStation and PC kind of person. You don't need the Xbox console if you've got a decent-ish PC because you've got the Xbox stuff. Bringing into PlayStation a bit more, there's something else in there happened that you popped in the chat the other day, wasn't there? About
Sony is unfortunately ending the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita stores.
I've seen that as well, yeah.
Which is rip.
I own a Vita. I tried to go on it the other day and I wondered why I couldn't get online.
Is it literally already shut it down?
They flat out shutting it down.
See, I had a Vita but I used to use like remote play on it, so I put like Horizon on it through the console. But I noticed on the Vita store you have PS1 games, don't you? So you could play like Dino Crisis and Metal Gear and like all these old.
I tried going on my Vita the other week, like before I moved house. I thought I'd just have a go on it, like because I haven't been on it in years.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go online. It wouldn't let me look at anything on the store. They were all corrupted images, anything. It wouldn't. And then once I'd logged out of my PlayStation account, it wouldn't let me kind of log back in. It was being all funny. So unless they've actually ordered it or it's the start of it, I don't know.
That's weird. They must have already took it offline then.
Yeah.
They just kind of say they're doing stuff, but my thinking is like there's 2 options. They're either doing it just to get rid of it, and they're just and they're planning to do remakes of games and then charge people, or they're rebooting PlayStation Now and they're going to put all like the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 classics all on one place because PS Now is terrible.
It's definitely a trick to make more money for sure.
I don't think Vita turned out to be as popular as they were anticipating.
No.
Oh no. PS Vita was a huge flop.
Because they did it with the original PSP, didn't they? Like
that was big.
PSP like turned out quite well, and then they did the PSP Go, which from what I heard didn't do very well because all of its games were digital.
Yeah.
Right, and that much of a variety on it either. And then they brought out the Vita, which in terms of the console itself looked really good. But then again, it just came down to the fact that the games on it were very limited. In terms of new games that were released, the Vita got nothing, and your only hope was literally going onto the store and getting previous games. Other than that, it didn't.
I remember the analog sticks were like really fiddly. If you have like big hands or anything, it was really hard to like play the console.
People, like you say, have got really big hands, and because the analog sticks were quite small, like you say, and they were quite fiddly. But just from a personal perspective, like I just have a look. People tell me I've got lady hands, so
I don't think I've got big hands. I've just got chunky hands now from lockdown. But like, I know what you mean. Like, if you've got like, I don't know, like thicker fingers, then I don't know if you're not dainty or you've not got smaller hands. That's why I didn't like the Switch. Or what was it called? The Switch that you didn't need to dock. I had one of those for a while. I had one of those and I just couldn't get on with it. It was a bit. It's hard. To be honest, the reason I have glasses to this day was I had a Game Boy Micro, which was no bigger than my phone, and you just be like staring at it at night, and you just be like blinding yourself, and it was so small, and the buttons were tiny. So, yeah, that was a hassle.
Yeah, that was a big issue with these Game Boys in general, to be honest. I remember I had one of them back in my younger days.
It was I remember I had a Game Boy Color, but there was Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I had that one as well.
I bet you had the SP, the one that flipped up.
Yeah, I had that one as well, but also the Color.
Oh yeah, there was the Advance as well, weren't there? I forgot about that one. What? I don't think there was another one after the SP. I think that was it. I think it went to Nintendo DS after that. So.
I think
But yeah, to like finish up with the gaming kind of, I don't know, store stuff, not the actual companies. Epic have been like releasing free games for a while now. Like, everyone seems to hate on Epic, but I've never really been a massive fan of Steam. I do like Steam, but it has so many improvements it needs to make. But like, Epic have been chucking games out like left, right, and centre. Like there was Ark, GTA. God, there was loads. Civilization. There was all these kind of big games.
They've had plenty of them.
Yeah, and just recently they've turned around and said like they're adding like Kingdom Hearts to like the whole store. Like I think it's the only thing that's going to be on PC. Like it's the only version you get on PC. I don't pretend to understand anything about that game. Like it's basically Disney Final Fantasy, but Max was really into it, and like when I was watching, it was like it was quite colourful and fun. But it's coming to PCs like a big thing, and like this Epic obviously own Fortnite, and they bring out all these massive partnerships. Like all these companies like buying up things like Disney, and it's becoming worrying because you're basically being forced to buy every console. So, but yeah.
Honestly, I think you're better off with a PC then, but then again, it's more on the expensive side. But I feel like if you got a PC, you don't need the consoles. I mean, obviously you still have the exclusive, but
the only problem is with them right now is you can't get any PS5 games, but there's a lot of PS4 exclusives coming or came on PC. Like Days Gone is the newest one that's going to come out. Horizon was the last one. You had like Detroit.
yeah. See, I think eventually they will all come out on PC, but when is a question.
Yeah, I think I'd give it like 2 to 3 years. I think the games will come to PC, but I really would like a Sony app that you could like. If you own it on PlayStation, they have a Sony app where you can play the PC version on their app or something on a PC. Would be cool. But yeah,
That would be possible.
we could talk about that kind of crap all day. The only other biggish thing that happens every year that no one's ever surprised about is there is a new COD, new Call of Duty that's been leaked that I saw an article about, and it was leaked as Call of Duty Vanguard, and it is a direct sequel to World War II, which is the one I think Nick and his Mrs. Kev plays, isn't it? You play World War II a lot.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, World War II Electric Boogaloo. Is that the one you play, Nick? The most?
We haven't played it in a while, but we do play it quite regularly because, like you say, that's Kev's favourite one.
So I don't know if that's going to be like. I mean, what happened after World War? It would have to be something like.
What I've heard, and I was just doing some Googling of this as we were setting up, it's either going to be based on the Korean War.
I was going to literally, yeah.
Which was between 1950 and 1953. That's my history nerd stuff coming out. Or they're going to take it down a parallel universe route and make a thing of if World War II never really ended in 1945 and extend it into the 50s.
That would be sick. That would actually make me want to buy and play it because I love Wolfenstein.
I honestly they could go either way. It's a World War II sequel, so they might go down that route.
Well, apparently,
Korean War. You never know.
The way they've done it is Call of Duty. There's Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then what has happened is Cold War is a direct sequel to the first, but before the second, and then you've got like Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare, Ghost, and all that kind of game, and Infinite Warfare, all its own timeline. So this World War II COD is basically its own timeline again. So they're probably they keep rebooting their own games, but Cold War weren't bad. I really liked Cold War for what it was. The zombies mode's good and the story was better. I'm not even a massive first-person shooter fan, but I like what they're doing with the zombies. It's just a shame that the multiplayer is so competitive. I just can't be bothered with it. Like I know Nick plays Warzone and stuff, don't you? Still,
I play on Warzone every now and again, only with certain people.
Yeah.
Warzone's not preferred game mode. Like I say, I'm not really one for campaign either. I've not played a Call of Duty campaign since the original World at War, and that was purely because you had to just to unlock the zombie.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't play campaign. I'll buy Call of Duty and I'll go straight online.
See, what I used to do is like when I first got into it, I like Call of Duty 3, so I played for the story, and the online was just starting. And then, like I said, World at War and 4 were like when it really took off, and that's when I was occasionally playing it. And then as soon as it started going into like Black Ops, after Black Ops, I just tuned out. Apart from the zombies mode and the story for that, I just didn't care. So everyone gets really hyped about when it's announced, oh, it's going to do something new, it's going to be different, and it's just the exact same thing again. But I don't get, yeah, like what you were saying about like the taking it in a new direction. That's kind of what they've done with Cold War, and it's worked. So I wouldn't be surprised, because that was like an alternate history thing, and like I don't even know what you call it, like a sequel prequel, because it was a sequel to the original but a prequel to the second. So I'm not sure, or mid-installment, or whatever you call it.
But saying that, would you not say that they sort of took a different route when they went like advanced warfare? And if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really think that turned out so well.
No, I mean that had Kevin Spacey in anyway, so that's.
Oh, and then there was that one comment.
Yeah.
I don't actually like to say what I'm gonna say, so let me rather not.
No, but that would have bombed even more if it come out later with him in. But yeah, I didn't like that one. I didn't like Infinite Warfare either. Didn't that have aliens in?
Yeah, Infinite Warfare was very futuristic. I think it was even a space battle at one point.
Yeah, and like I don't know, alien horror. When I think of alien horror, I literally think of Alien or Prey. And to kind of branch into the more horror thing, because you know COD's not something we all play. It's massively popular, so we want to talk about it. And I'm always intrigued if it's like going to be better, especially if that literally is an alternate history. That'd be cool, because I love the World War II period. I'd rather keep in that. But yeah, indie horror games, because I've recently started playing Devour. I think everyone here has had a dabble with Phasmophobia or seen it, because that's like another big one. I did a review on Devour, but there was some other. There was one that's based on PT that's just come out, because Bear was mentioning it. What was it called? I completely forgot what it's called now. But it's basically a copy of PT, and it's doing really well apparently. And there's also In Silence came out, and like I said, Phasmophobia, Devour, they're all like kicking up. So like indie horror's getting like a lot better. We've had like Visage and Song of Horror and all these kind of just spookathon games, which have been quite fun. I still need to play Visage for that community challenge, to be honest, but have any of you dabbled with them?
No, I haven't. No, I'm not one for horror
really,
games.
no.
So I think I'm the only one here who plays horror stuff.
But
So.
something that I did notice with the horror games, because you said obviously that especially indie horror games are very popular nowadays. But I feel like if we looked a few years back, the horror games were a bit more advanced.
Yeah, it feels like they've gone back.
Yeah, but I feel like more people are enjoying the simplistic
Among
design of
Us.
these games.
Yeah, like even just indie games like Among Us and Fall Guys, they've like kicked off massively.
Oh yeah.
But it's
And
like
Fall Guys get through quickly.
it seems to be peaking back up with season 4 by what I've seen. Like it definitely hit its peak and went back down, but it seems to be like crawling back up. But yeah, like
No, it's never gonna be how it was.
no.
It was in season 1.
But that was mad. That like was.
That game was a bit too overhyped, to be honest.
Yeah, I did like it, but I liked it because it was like Takeshi's Castle. That was it.
Honestly, it's very samey if you play it a lot of times, and that's the issue with these games.
Yeah, they're like pure fun, turn your brain off, have a laugh kind of games. They're not like story-based stuff or like really in-depth stuff, which is. But like I said, I've been really happy with how indie games have been, because they've been. I don't know, they've just been trying different stuff, and they've listened
and
to.
The good thing is about you can try a lot of games because they're so cheap, obviously.
Yeah, they're always cheap on Steam, aren't they? So that's the thing. It's like you can kind of just dabble with so many games for like under £50.
Yeah.
and then you get these games that come out. To be honest, we should.
And if you're a content creator, you can make a funny little video out of it as well.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending circle of like boosting popularity.
Look at like how Valheim turned out. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
really. It sold what, over 50 million copies?
Like, he's not in the podcast because he didn't really want to be in it. But Josh, you know, like I know in real life and in the community, like he's got like 200 hours already in Valheim. The whole indie scene is just blowing up.
Yeah.
I think it's just because the AAA companies are just doing so much shit that like they're just causing so much problems because they don't listen to people and they're just saying £70 for a 10-hour game. It's like, no. No, we're not paying that.
Not gonna call names, Cyberpunk.
Oh god, honestly, I don't know what. They did an update the other day. Another bit of gaming news is they did was it patch 1.2, and it's like they finally fixed the police so they don't spawn out of nowhere. It's like,
Wouldn't be
well
too
done,
excited
well
to
done.
be honest.
And then apparently they fixed the driving animations and some bugs. It's like, dude, it's been like what are we on? Nearly 4 months the game. No, 5 months the game's been out.
You gotta realize how much the game has been delayed as well. To be honest.
It's like, Jesus. Imagine if that game would have come out in April. But yeah. Anyway, tangent because we were.
I feel like it's better if it's fully finished.
We're literally. We're literally talking about Cyberpunk all day if we could, because it's just like endless problems.
Yeah, exactly.
They delayed the update to fix the delayed problem.
I know, and even if they would have delayed it like another year, I don't even know. Honestly, I was never super hyped for it. I got very hyped for it just before, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be brilliant," and I was instantly disappointed. Got my refund, and was just like, put this aside, give me Witcher 3 Remastered, which was promised, but obviously that's been put on hold. And then there was Witcher 4 rumoured, and that was confirmed. But that after what they've done with this, I've got no faith in them. I don't know, is there any other gaming related stuff? I know there was one thing, but that's more to do with movies, so I'll move on to that in a minute. Any more, you guys?
In terms of games, no, nothing really.
Because it's just been delays. Mostly, it's just been utter delays for everything. Like Back 4 Blood just literally got delayed.
Game that got delayed.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy.
We're really excited for that one.
I am. I like the whole vibe. If you ever played Order of the Phoenix, like the whole vibe of walking around the castle and being a wizard and just flicking the analog to do spells, that was so cool. And this new one's gonna be like an open world RPG, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, that was delayed. Dying Light was delayed.
Like 2, did they even ever have a release date for it?
It was delayed because it was supposed to be coming in 2020, so they delayed it to 2021. But they say it's coming at the end of this year now, definitely. And then was it Vampire the Masquerade 2 that got delayed and kind of fucked up? And there was Returnal was delayed. What else? Deathloop.
Got delayed.
Yeah. And then
Halo Infinite got delayed.
oh my god, that's a big thing. I don't know if any of you are Halo fans, to be honest.
I've played like the first 4, but that's it.
No, I played Reach, and that was the only one I liked. So I can't really talk on Halo.
The newest Gran Turismo got delayed.
Oh, what number is that? Like 9 or something.
Apparently it's Gran Turismo 7, but I thought that one already came out.
I did as well. So yeah, that was delayed. Like I said, Back 4 Blood, which is like Left 4 Dead 3 in reality, it was delayed just today.
There was that Lord of the Rings game that got delayed as well. Now that I think of it.
Do you know what? Another game that got delayed. Gotham Knights. I was really looking forward to that. It's basically Avengers, but the DC version. Oh yeah, and Avengers, all their content got delayed, and nothing's probably coming till summer now. Now they brought out the new stuff, so yeah, it's just lockdown, delay.
I feel like lockdown is a great thing with delays because everyone is working from home and every progress is slower, of course. So.
Yeah, and like
it makes sense if you think about it, but if you got a game that has a lot of bugs, even when it gets delayed that many times, I feel like they should delay it even more because people expect your game to be finished if you delay it that much.
Yeah, I don't. It's another thing. Like Cyberpunk was like, they delayed. They didn't delay that. It rushed out, and then every other company's gone fuck. Like what happened to like the biggest hype game ever? I was like, shit. What about our fucking game? It's not even as good as that. So they've all delayed.
I've had entire articles written about it. I think even like CNN covered it. CNN.
This is my claim to fame. BBC wanted opinions, and I'd been ranting on my Twitter about it. And a BBC representative from Newsbeat got in touch with me, and I did an interview with him, and other people did some interviews. And there's an article featuring like gamers being outraged at Cyberpunk, and I was on that. And I was like, yeah, that's my claim to being in the news. So I took that.
I think a game that was delayed for so long that still was then even pre-release with the amount of problems that it's had, then, like, I mean, I can't speak from a personal perspective because even though I've had the game since it was released, I've not touched it.
Don't touch it. You should refund it.
Because I've heard people say that it is good. Some people haven't quite experienced the bugs that other people have.
Yeah, PC wasn't as bad, but
I think the majority of people that are saying about the problems, like I say, with a game that was delayed for so long and still come out with the problems that it's got, I personally think that if they were really having all the problems, then they might have just been better off sitting there saying, you know what, this just ain't gonna work, like cancelling it altogether. Even like they might have lost out on a bit of money because of all the advertisements and everything and building up the hype. But like you say, if they put out a formal apology anyway for the state that the game was and offered people, they might as well have just sat there and said, look, we're just not doing it. We're pulling the plug on it, and we're going to try for something else.
Yeah, the thing is that what happened behind the scenes is it was a bit like Anthem. Anthem was being made for like 4 or 5 years, and then it was scrapped. And apparently the same thing happened with Cyberpunk, and it was completely scrapped apart from the main plot. And then they redid everything around it in 2018. They faked the stage demo that is on record. They faked it, just like Anthem did. And then, obviously, in 2 years, they brought out a shitty product. That was the problem with it. But yeah.
Anthem is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, it was just... The only problem I found with Anthem was just like with Destiny.
There was no content.
Just a bit too repetitive for my liking.
Anthem was an amazing concept, and I loved the flying and I loved the whole vibe, but the whole thing was a complete mess and the content wasn't there and it was repetitive and you got no loot. But yeah, like that.
About Destiny as well, and why I feel that they were both the same. I was absolutely like, and I'm obviously back to when the first Destiny was released as well, not just the second one. Like I played the first one as well. When that came out, I was really excited for that. Like, and I played it, I completed it, and then the missions just got so repetitive. And then like they released, or did the raids come out in the second one? I can't remember. But yeah, they then released all the raids and everything, but you needed at least like a full squad to even have a chance of completing a raid, and by that point there wasn't just that many people playing it anymore. So
yeah, it's why I just don't like first person games too much anyway, especially shooters. And when you can buy that with a lure, I don't know. Like, I literally, it's free to play now, and all the you still need all the DLC to do anything in that game, so it's pointless anyway. But yeah, we could rant for hours about broken and delayed games. We should definitely do an episode on that in depth, because we literally be like 50 minutes of that. But we'll move on, because like I said, we are trying to do like an entertainment podcast where we talk about like a lot of different things. The movies side of things that I wanted to talk about. The main thing I'm really, really excited for is Godzilla versus Kong. And it sounds...
Anything other than Kong versus Godzilla, I would have come down to Leicester and I would have beat you.
But, yeah, it's... I'm really excited for it. It's literally just a film about two massive things beating the living shit out of each other. I love spectacle films.
About it that might have ruined a bit of the storyline for me, so I'm actually kind of upset. I didn't mean to hear it, but I did. And
I already know about the mecha thing. That was potential spoilers because something is leaking. I don't know if you guys want to see it, want to know, but
I mean, I'd be interested.
Basically,
Because
What you said.
like as soon as they announced the movie, I'm like, no, they're not gonna have a fight. It's gonna be a neutral thing, or they're gonna go fight something else.
this is literally this isn't me reading the plot. I know nothing about the plot. This is literally what I think is going to happen, which is probably going to happen because it's just a monster film and it is a remake. This is an old film in the day. What happened is Godzilla's pissed for some reason. We don't know why. So they bring in Kong. They have a fight. They smash the shit out of each other. The plot ensues, and then there's an organization which I can't remember what their name is. I don't know if it's Monolith or something like that, and they basically make Mecha Godzilla to kill Godzilla, and then Kong and Godzilla go, bro, let's kill him, and then that's it. That'll be it, and then they'll basically break the shit out of Mecha Godzilla, and they'll be like, I respect you, I'm going back to my island. But this film, like,
and 10% think that that's what's going to happen as well.
it will. It's no one watches it for the plot. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just a good action movie.
Monsters just beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, it's just a spectacle movie, which is what's fun about it. And like they've had some really cool trailers with good music in, so I've been enjoying that. But yeah, that's like the major one. That comes out in the UK on the 1st of April. It's on HBO in America at the minute, so I don't know if there's... But yeah, I've already seen like a bit of a leaked fight where they're both fighting him. But I've no idea if it's being it's being piloted or AI or who's involved with the overall thing. I know it goes into depth with the Hollow World. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. It's actually a theory. There's like a world beneath the earth where there's giant creatures still around, like a crust and then basically an atmosphere, then another crust before the center.
Yeah, that makes sense considering that obviously, like, through the Godzilla movies that have already been released, like obviously King of the Monsters and
They all come out of the ground, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that was in a Kong movie as well.
Yeah. The end of the Kong movie, they basically just find out that there's creatures hibernating under the ground, and then they come out. There was basically the whole concept of this new
I've seen
film.
that movie not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, and it's like Godzilla. This is another thing that in the lore, Godzilla was created because of an atom bomb, which mutated. But then it mentions in the trailer that there was a war between their races, but he's the first and only of his kind. So now it's like, is that a plot hole, or is that unveiling a twist that he wasn't actually created? He was always there.
Because part of it says that he was a result of nuclear testing and, like you say, nuclear bombs and whatnot. But then, like you say, the whole storyline involves, especially in King of the Monsters,
Kong versus Godzilla's basically.
Between him and Ghidorah, which, like you say, would indicate that Kong has been around. God has been around for a lot longer.
Yeah, on the first Godzilla film was good, but there wasn't enough Godzilla, and and then they killed off Bryan Cranston, which is a travesty, and then some boring ass soldier. So that was a bit like, yeah. But the second one was really good. King of the Monsters, where they brought Ghidorah in and everything, that was really good. So this is like a Monsterverse now.
Seen any of these movies, so I'm gonna keep quiet.
But yeah, watch them. They are good. They are good, like spectacle kind of fun, turn off your brain movies.
I feel like the main reason you want to watch these movies is because of the action, and a monster movie is always going to have a lot of action. But then, but you don't expect to get involved in the story, and then you watch it, and then you actually get connected with the story as well.
Yeah, there's I can't remember his name now, but the main kind of character who's from Japan, he basically gives his life in the second film, but you get very invested with him. Millie Bobby Brown's in it as well, but I don't really like her. But I see her as annoying since Stranger Things. I don't know why. I just can't take her seriously. She's a bit like Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland, but he's in everything now. Like, he's just becoming every video game character.
All sorts of trailers with Tom Holland in it, and I'm just sitting there thinking, mate, you've only just done Spider-Man, calm down.
This is the thing, that studios will jump on them like as like a I don't know, a currency, I guess, or like a.
I don't know about anyone else, but I never really heard of Tom Holland until he did, obviously, Spider-Man, and then he was in Avengers. So if they were even just the start of his career, then yeah, like you say, everyone else is gonna bloody jump on it.
But this thing, he's Nathan Drake in Uncharted. He's been in some like other films now. Someone was saying that he might be in some kind of reboot of a horror film, which I really, really hope it's not another reboot of bloody Nightmare on Elm Street, because I like the originals and the remake was terrible.
The reboot of that? No. Come on, they can't do another one.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the reboot Spider-Man again. Like, apparently he's only signed on to do 3 other films, and the third one's coming out, so it might be the case where they suddenly do like Miles Morales or Spider-Man 2099 or Spider-Gwen.
I think they are going to go down Miles Morales, because now they've got the whole Peter Parker, Sony, Marvel stuff contract.
But yeah, that whole situation. I do like Tom Holland, but it's like I liked Millie Bobby Brown in Stranger Things, but then she was just everywhere, and it's instantly annoying. It's like back in the day, I could not stand Breaking Bad because it was everywhere, and everyone was like, oh, "It's brilliant, it's brilliant." And I was like, "Can't be bothered." And I eventually watched it, and I've become a massive fan. I love all of it now. But it's like when it's constantly being talked about, it puts you off it. It's like Mandalorian. Everyone was just like, Mandalorian, Star Wars. It's like, just stop talking about it. You put me off it.
Spoilers as well, then.
Yeah, this is the thing. Modern now, like literally within a day, there's spoilers everywhere. Like I got Endgame spoiled for me, but I still wanted to watch it. I saw what was coming. Like it was obvious that a lot of people were going to die. But yeah, and another thing, actually mentioning like MCU and Marvel, the opposite. In fact, before we go on to that, Black Widow is obviously MCU. That's coming out. That's not free for Disney. I thought it was. You have to buy the premium Disney Plus to get it. So it's £15 plus your subscription.
Well, I might not see it anyway until it comes out in cinema.
This is the thing, like, I was not that excited for a Black Widow film anyway. I don't think she's particularly interesting or can carry a film. We'll have to see. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds, he starred in the Green Lantern, right? But he never watched the movie because he knew how bad it was.
Oh.
So then, in celebration of the Snyder Cut coming out, that's why I wanted to do this before, he decided he's going to watch the movie and live tweet his thoughts on it as he's watching it. And it was some of the most amazing stuff I have ever read.
Right, Nick has had to leave. He's got daddy's duties, as you mentioned. So that's why we're down to a threesome for the rest of the episode. Yeah, we were just talking about Black Widow and kind of MCU. So the opposite is DC. What's it called? DCEU? And just kind of their films.
It's just a DC franchise. They don't have an official name for it.
I thought it was the Snyderverse for a while, but
here's actually a fun fact. The whole DC Extended Universe thing was actually made by a critic who was mocking the DC Universe for trying to be like the Marvel Universe.
But the whole DC thing, I've always liked Batman and Joker, but I've never been a massive fan of the whole thing. But the big controversy was Justice League got kind of mashed up and changed by Joss Whedon? Is it Joss Whedon? Oh, that's probably wrong, but it was another director because obviously Snyder lost his daughter during production and he had to leave, which is completely understandable. But yeah, that kind of messed up the kind of direction of it, and then he came back and did his Snyder cut, and that's what everyone's been watching and letting people know if it's better and everything. And obviously Man of Steel was alright, and then Batman vs Superman was like not good. Wonder Woman was good. The new Wonder Woman was bad. So they've not had a good ride as such. And yeah, it's kind of been up and down for DC, but apparently the Snyder Cut did very well, and I was watching clips because I'd already seen Justice League, and guys, it's actually worth watching because like there's things in the film that are completely new, like Jared Leto, I don't like him as the Joker, and he was actually quite good at the end of the film, so it's worth watching that. It actually is better. It's not perfect, but it's better overall, for sure.
Dude, I'll have to do a bit of catching up. The last DC movie I watched was Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, you can just go on and watch this Snyder Cut. It's like is it six episodes of like 30 to 40 minutes because it's like 4 hours long or something.
Are they episodes?
Yeah, so it's basically it does like 30 minutes and it'll cut to black and it'll be like part 2. and then it will go on like that because it was so long. But yeah, that wasn't too bad, and I thought it was kind of cool what they did. It's made me interested in it, but apparently they're just abandoning the Snyderverse, as they were calling it. There was apparently going to be Justice League 2 and 3, and Superman and Lois Lane's son was going to become the new Batman. That's what the whole vibe they were going to go for. He was going to become the new Batman, and Batwoman was going to come into it. Because it's Commissioner Gordon's daughter that becomes Batwoman, and they were going to have like Cyborg have his own film and Flash have his own film, and I have no idea what's going on with any of that because I don't personally follow it. I've just been seeing people talking about it. Yanni, have you watched any of these films, or I'm guessing not?
No, otherwise I should have talked about, but definitely heard about about it.
It's a bit of a mess what's happened with them, but it's just how it is. I think superhero movies are kind of dying a bit now because they're just done so much.
Getting repetitive.
Yeah,
you can only do so much.
it's why WandaVision was so good, because it was completely different. It wasn't your typical superhero movie or show. It was just different, and it's why I want to wait for Falcon to finish and then watch it in one go and see what this Loki one does. But yeah, that's kind of everything we want to talk about as such today. Obviously, we're going to finish with a few things about us and ways you can follow us and schedule and what we plan to do and all that, and some questions.
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about streaming and content creation in another podcast in general.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't know, most of us are streamers or content creators like me, Yanni. Chris is going to dabble with it and get into it soon.
Okay.
Nick, who's obviously just popped out the podcast, he does his streams. We'll put all the descriptions and socials below so you can keep up to date if you want to. And yeah, like we all do kind of something different. And I had this idea in the back burner that we'd do a podcast and do it specifically with like a group of people rather than just me with Ash in the past with TCN and stuff, because we wanted to get other people involved, but things happened, so we're just doing it as in like a team of like 4 or 5 of us. Like I said, we do have Bear, Gaming Bear.
We can always have special guests as well, but
yeah. I mean, we might have guests in the future, because I was talking to Jables and Zara might come on and Kev might come on, which is Nick's missus basically, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And like I said, we do have a 5th member, Bear, but he couldn't be with us tonight because he's a full-time working daddy, family man, so he only gets his weekend spare. And we wanted to kind of just do an introductory episode and talk to you guys. So yeah, to finish up, we're kind of the schedule as such. We're just going to do an episode every couple of weeks, at least once a month, cover what's going on, stuff like that. So if you want to ask us any community questions so we can try and get like a vibe for like segments and what we could do in an order, let us know, you know, what we can improve, like, dislike. Just let us know what we can do to make it better, because this is the first time I've done it with a group of people, and Yanni and Chris have never done a podcast before. So
yeah, so this is pretty new.
So we're all kind of nervous as a group, but we want to do something different and unique, and especially with lockdown, and it helps build confidence, and we can bring some entertainment to people and chat. And we'll probably try and get, like, when we've got a few episodes under the bag, like maybe a Spotify account where you can listen to us there, see how that goes. And one last thing to touch on that I forgot about till now is we're on the eve of Outriders, which is the big looter shooter and big game that a lot of us are looking forward to that's coming out. So I imagine I'll be streaming it, a few of us might stream it. We'll probably talk about that more in the next episode and see how that's gone. We've also got Soulstorm, the new Abe game, coming out. There's lots coming out next month, to be honest, and Resi in May as well, so that's something we'll probably talk about in the next episode. And if you got any ideas or topic suggestions, yeah, go for it. I don't know if you guys want to say anything before we finish up, or introduce yourselves as like what you do.
Yeah, I feel we could do a little introduction.
Yeah.
So I'll start myself then. So I basically currently am a streamer. I stream. I mean, I'm also a YouTuber because I recently also got into the video editing. been liking that. But yeah, I'm mainly focus on Plants vs Zombies. It's not a very popular franchise, but it's something that I really like. I've always liked it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I also do a variety of other games, of course, but especially on stream. Because on YouTube, I mainly want to focus on the Plants vs Zombies and funny moments in general. So that's basically what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, it's all keeping ourselves busy during lockdown because there's a lot more time to make a lot more kind of content. Even though it's hard to be more discovered now, it's like why we're trying to bridge into other ways to like get to know people and make friends. Like I said, Chris is dabbling with getting into it, but I tell you what, you can actually talk about, Chris, your uni stuff because you just started, haven't you?
Yes, I'm in my first year into a high school history teaching degree, so that's going to be fun.
He's a history
At the
buff.
moment, yes, I'm a history buff as well. That's why I'm doing history teaching. At the moment, we're not doing anything special. We're just going over like the basics of like different teaching methods and learning styles, but eventually I'll start learning all the proper stuff and then learning how to teach it, how to present it to students, and it's going to be fun.
We could definitely do like a history corner for Chris, like just random history facts throughout the podcast. Just like
today in 1956, this happened.
it's like, did you know that Hitler loved Call of Duty? His favorite was Black Ops. Just like there's a meme going around at the minute. It was like "Rest in peace, celebrity." They would have loved.
You did that Elvis Presley one. I just realized we should have talked about Xbox's rebranding. They're getting rid of Live, quote unquote.
Oh, I tell you what, we'll touch on that in the next episode because I don't know anything about that, so I'll be a bit ignorant.
Oh, really nothing major than just changing the name to Xbox Network. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So when we're doing these podcasts, we do want to stick to like a kind of segment system or a schedule of like how we talk about things. But
It's
kind of amazing.
But you do miss things, so like, and things pop up during when you're recording or just before. Like there was so much news that we wanted to pack into this one, so probably the next one. Like I said, I think we all know kind of what we want to do and how it'll go now. So we'll definitely be a bit more.
See, that's something else we would like to know. Whether the people that are watching this, you guys want to see these segments that we are doing, like the new subjects and all of that, or just want to stick to one main subject?
Yeah, like I mean, we'll always have like gaming, movies, TVs, and we'll probably dabble with a bit of music. But at the minute, there's not really any music-related news because there's no touring. They can't record as such. There's not really much news with bands and singers because there's not much entertainment outside movies and games that you can really do. I mean, even the cinemas are still shut for the most part, so it's mainly gaming. We'll always mainly be gaming, but we'll always like branch into other things. Like I don't think we'll really touch on politics unless it's a serious thing. It'll be most, like I said, mostly entertainment because that's why we called it. Like I came up with the idea of Pixels and Polygons because pixels for movies and cinema and polygons for games, so that's why it went quite well. But yeah, that's kind of all we have today. So I'll just mention, obviously, Nick left us a bit earlier. Nick is Beach Gaming. We'll put his link down below. Chris is Tide, as his handle is, will be down below as well. Yanni Topper Games. I am Jontis. I'm just Jontis on everything as far as I can tell.
Right.
I am a variety streamer. But yeah, all the links will be down below. And thanks for watching, listening to us ramble. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you enjoyed. I think I'm going to try and we'll try, like I said, we'll try and get probably every 2 or 3 weeks, depending. If there's no news and nothing we can talk about, so I don't want to put like a time on stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and you can catch us, like I said, live or just chatting stuff on socials or get involved in our discords and stuff. So we will see you all next time. It's bye from me and those guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.